Hi guys, we're going to finish up the siding today and we are going to make some windows and try to finish up the exterior so it kind of looks cool on our house. We'll see where we go from there, and that might be the end of it. But side note, as we get into this thing, I'm probably going to work with the edges turned off. So if you go to below the view cube in this little options menu with that little cube down there, you can turn on shaded without edges. I think it's going to look better, kind of look nicer, because we're working on the aesthetics of the house now. Also, I left on these two little connectors that I think I'm going to turn off. I can scroll way down to the bottom. I have my roof peak, my roof peak things. I'm going to turn those off just so that they are not annoying. And we're going to finish the siding on each side of the house. So let's scroll around to the left side of the house, and we're going to go ahead and make a new part. Now I had started with a connector piece up here at the top. I think I'm going to start with a connector piece down here at the bottom in order to start a new part studio. So we're going to zoom way in to this bottom piece of this. Now I know that other ledger sticks out a little bit, and that's okay. We're going to still go down here to the very bottom of that, and we're going to put in a make connector down here. If I zoom way in, I'm going to go way down there to the bottom. Okay, click there. Oops, didn't show up. And we're going to name it by hovering over here before you hit OK. Click that little edit button, and we're going to call it siding start. Let's call it siding start left, so we know we're on the left of the house. No, I'm going to take that back. If you already hit check, you can go edit it down here, but front, I'm going to call it front and back, because it's the front and the back of the house. If you missed that part, you can, but you made that piece, you can go down here and just right click and rename that last thing that you just made. All right, so we are going to make a new part studio in context. Up here, click. We are going to click that piece that we just made and say OK. And things fade out as usual, and we're going to zoom in and we're going to sketch on that top. Yours may have ended up different, but mine, it's the top plane that is perpendicular to that. And we're going to do N for normal. Okay, and I'm going to start by making my rectangle that goes all the way up to this top piece up here, right here. So we're going to need to get, I'm probably going to have to use that edge. So I'm going to go ahead and start with that. Make sure I have that edge available. And we're going to draw a rectangle. Simple rectangle from that corner, and we're going to hook up to that line. Now I'm going to do this 2 steps by clicking there, and then I'm going to dimension down here. Let's see if I can. No, it wants to go to a different one. So I'm going to go ahead and dimension that now to 3/4 of an inch. And I know it's easy to see right now. 0.75, and now it's not so easy to see, but we're going to zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. And we're going to do that same thing. Now I might need to use this area also here so I can line up with that. In fact, I'm going to have to do that. Click on this rectangle right there so it gives you those dots as reference. Use our line to make our usual, if you hover over that spot and drag over, you'll line up with it. Hover over this spot, line up with that. Whoops, I'm going the wrong way, my bad. Let me do that the other way. Okay, so we're going to click on this line, hover, don't click on it, hover over that so that you're lined up with it. click. Now that is going to be 0.25. You could go back and dimension it if you wanted to. And then we're going to hover over that and come over here so we're lined up with that. There we go. Now why it's blue, I don't know. Oh, I know why, because I have to come 5 inches up. Or, let's make sure that I've got this right. I'm going to dimension from this point to that point, 5 inches. Now, it turned red because it was already lined up with that. I know what it is, I think. So I can undo out of that when I have that problem. This was 0.25. That's weird. I wonder if that line is not horizontal. Let's try that. There we go. That line wasn't horizontal for me. It may have been for you. So yours may have already turned black. I don't know, but we're looking good now. All right. So actually, I wanted to do that second. Okay, my bad. When I make a mistake, you make a mistake, right? So I'm actually going to sketch my rectangle on the other side. Same concept. We're going to have to use some stuff. I need that little dot down there. Oh, why was it off? Okay, I need to make sure that I'm zooming in and getting to this point right here. Click. So zoom way in so you're getting that piece of that siding and not whatever that other thing is that's sticking out. I don't know why that's like that. Maybe I'm not exactly normal. Okay. I hit N and went back to normal. That's the problem I had. All right, and then we're going to use this guy right up here. Same thing we did before. We're going to make our rectangle. Go from there. Zoom out. I'm just going to make it way big right now and dimension it later when I can see it. Then we'll dimension from that point to that point as 0.75. I'm going to go ahead and finish those triangles now, so that way I can use it later on. And I already projected on the other side. So let's go ahead and do that now. We're going to, again, I'm hovering, I'm not clicking to make sure I'm lined up with that. Click, go in, click. It's going to be 0.25 before I click in again, enter. Now I'm going to go down here, hover over that point, make sure it's lined up, and click. And again, it's not, oh, it did turn black this time. So we're looking good with that. All right, so I'm going to finish sketch. And I'm going to extrude both of those. Now, we need to be careful doing this because I drew those triangles, and I need to make sure I'm getting those triangles too. So I'm going to zoom way in and make sure that I'm getting, I'm going to choose sketch 1 and make sure, oh, look at that, it's getting that part in between. So I didn't want that. Okay, I know how to fix this. Let's see if it's not getting, it's getting all profiles that it sees in there. So we're going to get out of that, go back into sketch 1, and I need to now cut out these lines. Cut. I do not want that one or that one. There. Now, because it references those triangles will still stay in the right spot. Say OK, and now we can extrude sketch 1. Should be able to. All right, we're looking good, but we want to flip it the other way. And I am going to go, instead of blind, I'm going to go up to a face. And we're going to go all the way to the other side of the house and choose just this one of these flat faces on the other side. And we should be looking good. It's going to create 2 new parts, which is okay. And good. I'm going to hover over that to see which one is which. That's the front wall, so I'm going to rename that. I'm going to call it front EXT for exterior wall. And the other one I'll rename as back exterior wall. Oops, there we go. And I'm going to take both of those and edit my appearance to make it that green color that I was making the rest of the house. All right, good deal. All right, now I just realized that I don't want, well, I'm okay with this. I'm going to have to edit some of these parts in context because these are parts, and that's okay. We're going to do that in a little bit. Okay, I just realized we're okay. All right, so now I need to say, okay, we're good, but I need to turn back on sketch 1, and we are going to extrude again. And we're going to we're going to remove, uh-oh, I want to let me highlight that little, I don't know why it won't let me. Maybe I'm on the wrong side of the house. No, I'm on the right side of the house. Let's see if we can choose sketch 1. I have it on. Do I not have it on? Okay, hold on, folks. I'm not sure why it's not letting me grab that triangle. And it should let me. Let's choose sketch 1, and then I'm going to choose. Why it's not letting me do that? Hold on, folks. Oh, geez. I started from that side. Hold on. I don't know why it is not letting me do that. What the problem is. It might be because it's kind of inside of this other board. Let me try that again. It's seeing what's facing me instead of what's inside of there. Okay, there we go. Okay, if you get to just the right spot and hover around, you should be able to get to this. If we click on that and click, no. Okay, folks, I'm going to have to figure out how to fix this problem. And again, if I'm having trouble, you're having trouble, right? So, give me a second. I'm going to figure this out and I'll let you know. Well, as with a lot of things having to do with 3D modeling, I could try and figure it out, but I would probably take more time doing that than to just make another sketch. So I'm going to go ahead and make another sketch. I'm going to choose. Now be careful where you choose this. Come down to the bottom like this, where you know that you're getting that face of the siding and not this other board that's sticking out. We're going to click there. Okay. And for normal. And I'm going to go ahead and use these 3 lines from this triangle I made before. Why I couldn't get that to work. Actually, I'm just going to use those 2, and then I'm going to make a line between there and there to enclose that shape. Then let's go to the other side. I'm going to do the same thing. I know that those triangles are there, so I'm going to use, again, or we could draw a line. Either way, click, 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 and click to enclose that shape. Good, finish the sketch. Now we can extrude sketch 2. I don't know why, again, that was happening that way. We want to remove. I'm going to go up to a face. And I'm going to Move way around to the back so I can see and click on one of these faces like that. And we're going to say merge with all, and that should work for both of them. Okay. All right. We're good. And we should be able to now do our usual pattern where we do linear. We want to do a feature pattern, not a part pattern, of this extrusion. Our distance is going to be 5. I don't know what our instance count is yet. Direction is going to be a line that goes upward. And we'll roll that until we get to what is going to work. And not more than is going to work. See how it turned red when we did that? So we got, looks like we got 21. Okay. Now I do want to put apply per instance to make sure that that's all going to stay that way. And we should be good. All right, now I know we don't have any windows or anything yet. We're about to do that. So let's go ahead and insert and go to assembly. We're going to work on those one at a time. Select items to insert. We're selecting both of those and good. All right, looking nice. Got a house. No doors or windows, but we got a house. All right, time for doors and windows. Now I'm going to show you guys a little trick here. Okay, folks, I can't figure this out right now, but I'm going to because I never let the computer decide what I can and can't do. I'm going to figure it out. But I think I'm going to hold off on that until next class. And what we're going to do right now is go ahead and make the windows, and then we'll worry about how to install them. So at least we'll have windows on these parts that you can see. No way to get in and out of the house, I guess through the garage, but we'll go ahead and do that. So we've got 3 sizes of windows and 1 size of this opening on the end up here. All right, so let's go ahead and start this. I'm going to make it pretty easy on you. So here we go. Let's go ahead and make a new part studio. Okay. Now, while you're in that, let's go ahead and rename it. So we know what that is, and call it, let's call it window 24 by 24. Okay, so we're going to have 3 of them, and I'm going to make it easy because we'll just duplicate it. Okay. Now, I think it would be best for us to sketch on the front. So we're going to sketch on the front and make it pretty easy. N for normal, P for planes. Okay, let's start at that bottom corner. We're going to just draw a rectangle, and we're going to make the inside first. So we're going to make it 24 by 24. Okay, all right. Now, so that we can reuse this multiple times, we're going to come up here to offset. Okay, we'll make our trim about 2 1/4. That's pretty typical. So we're making the trim around the window right now. So we're going to offset this and that and that and that. Grab this arrow and pull it outward, and a little number shows up that we can click on, and we're going to make it 2.25. Okay. We can actually change that later if we want. And I think we're looking good. Okay. And we're going to now extrude just this outside shape. Don't do the inside. 2 3/4 of an inch, 0.75. Okay, now we're going to make 2 different parts. So let's rename this part as frame. And make this frame whatever color you think you want. So I want white. So I'm going to try and make whatever I think kind of will mimic white. It's a greenhouse. Ooh, no. I mean, you can do whatever you want. You want a greenhouse with purple trim, you do it. You want a red house with aquamarine trim, you go for it. Whatever works for you. Okay. Now I'm gonna flip around to the back. Okay, and I'm gonna sketch. Actually, I can use sketch one. Okay, so I'm just gonna turn on sketch one, and I'm gonna extrude from the back. Actually, which way did we extrude before? We extruded frontwards before. So what I want to do is I want to go whatever direction, the same direction I did that extrusion before. I'm going to do this extrusion. So we're going to extrude, and I'm going to go inside this time. We're going to extrude outward, but we're only going to go 1/4 of an inch, 0.25. And I'm going to make a new part. So it is important to click on new. Okay, now that new part is the glass. Now we could make frames and all that sort of stuff, but it would take us a long time. So I'm just going to edit appearance. I'm going to make it a blue color. Okay. Ooh. Yikes. All right, I'm going to make it that blue color like that. Looks good. And I'm going to say, okay. I'm going to call that, right click, call that glass. And here's what's kind of cool is we're going to right click on that and call it make transparent. And you can choose how transparent you're going to make it by dragging this little guy. Expand transparency by, I don't know what that expand distance means, but now, oh, it only lets us do that. We might be able to do that in the edit appearance tab. Oh, there we go. That's where to do it. It's in here where we can change the part transparency and make it a little bit transparent. Nice. Okay, cool. Now we can turn off sketch one. Now we've got all the qualities that we want for that. I'm going to turn off the origin too. Again, whatever color you want, whatever you think the glass looks good at. And now we're just going to watch the magic. I'm going to right click on that part studio, duplicate. Okay. And the next one go to the one that says copy one, rename it, and we're going to call it, this is window 40 by 48. Okay. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to go back to sketch one and change this to 40, the width to 40, and the height to 48. Ta-da! Done. Once you hit sketch done, we got our 40 by 48. Now let's duplicate that. Again, go to the copy that just popped up next to it, right click, rename. We're going to say window 48 by 48. And go to sketch one, double click, and change the width to 48. So I'm going to do that because I think we're good. Poof! Out back from lunch, got a new new environment. But one more thing to build, and that is that we are going to make the louvers for the ends of the gable ends where the venting for the garage is. So these will be a little bit different. Let's go ahead and start a new part studio. Let's make it, let's rename this when we get there as attic vents. Okay, and then we are going to go ahead and sketch on the front again. Actually, let's sketch on the right side. If you already sketched on the front, it doesn't matter. You sketch N for normal, P for planes. I'm going to start at this, and we're going to do kind of the same thing we did last time. We're going to make a rectangle. Now, I remember it was 18 by 24, so I'm going to make it 18 wide, 24 high. Okay. Now, I'm going to offset that 2 different directions. So we're going to say, okay, and I'm going to offset this, that, and that inside. Whoops, I don't know what just happened there. Oops, I'm going to undo that. I don't know what I did. I'm gonna offset. I think I accidentally clicked one too many times. We're going to go inside. No, inside. Oh, for crying out loud, I can't seem to get this right. Oh, for Pete's sake, what just happened here? Oh, for goodness sake. I am sorry, people. See, you're not the only one that has issues here. It's 24 and 18. All right, I'm going to try this again. I'm going to try this a little bit different way this time. I think I'll drag a box around all of it to highlight it and then hit offset. There we go. That works a little better. I want to go to the inside and probably have to zoom in to get to that number. And I want it to go in 0.75. There we go. All right. Now I have to select each one of these on the outside, because now I'm going to go to the outside. Offset. We're going to go to the outside. And again, zoom way in, and we're going to offset 2.25. All right. Now, in finish sketch, I'm going to extrude. And I'm going to extrude just this outside shape. Okay. Pay attention to which way it's going. It doesn't really matter. Actually, I want it to go the other way. I'm going to flip it so it's kind of going backwards away from me. And say, okay. Now, I'm going to turn back on my sketch and extrude the inner ring. We're going to go inside. We're going to go ahead and add to the first one. Oh, I shouldn't have gone out 2 3/4 then, because it's going to look weird. So I'll fix that in just a second. And I'm going to go a depth of, I'm going to go like, let's try 2 inches. No, let's go 3 inches. And so you have something that looks like this. Okay. All right. Now we are going to go back. Let's go back to sketch 1. And this offset that I made, that's 2.25. I only want that 1.5 because I ended up making it thicker with that other board. So it looks the same as the other windows. All right, and I'm going to turn off sketch 1. All right. Now, we're going to make the louvers. I'm going to give you a little bit of kind of some options of how you want to make this. Is totally up to you. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of move this around so that you're looking at this face right here. And that is what we're going to sketch on. And I'm going to show you kind of a neat trick. So right click, and we're going to make a new sketch. Now, we're going to go N for normal. Now it's hiding the sketch plane right now, right? But we can right click and say, oops, you have to click, sorry, on the part itself. And we're going to say section view. And we're going to section view to Oh, it's only choosing that part. Hold on. Exit out of that. I'm going to try that again. Right click. I have to choose the part. Let's go over here to the part. Right click and hit section view. Hold on, we're going to figure this out. Right click, section view. Now I should be able to grab that arrow. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, so let me go through that again. So I'm sketching on this surface. N for normal brings me flat to it. But I'm going to say I want to go to this part, right click and say section view. And now move around and grab that until you're seeing something like that. And then N for normal brings us so we're looking straight at that part. Now what I want to do is I want to make some louvers that will kind of overlap each other. So they're almost like shingles in the rain. So we're going to start. We'll just do what looks good. I'm going to hook up to that line like right about there. Go down to there. Go down a little bit. In a little bit. Up a bit and then over to this other one. Now, I want it to be parallel to that. Let's see if that pops up. It does. So if you hover over that line, it will make it both parallel and so I'm going to make it like that. And I'm also going to close it off by going up to that point and over to that point to make a fully enclosed profile. Now, I'm going to dimension some things to make it as if it's that same 3/4 of an inch material that we were using before. So that is going to be 0.75 from one line to the other. This is going to be 0.75. All right, so that makes it parallel. Now, I can kind of drag things around from this point. Everything's parallel, so on and so forth. If you grab things, you can kind of move them around a little bit. Be careful you're not doing it too much. And now what we're going to do is we're going to create a pattern. So I'm going to choose those lines that I just made. And not other things that I didn't, but just that little pattern that I made. And we're going to make a linear pattern of it. Now, right now, it's going this direction and that direction. Now, it's making 3 in this direction. I want 1, just the original 1. I don't want, so if you double click on that, say I want 1 that's going this way. I'm going to pull this arrow down so it's going the other way. And this one right now, it's making, oh, I don't want 3, I want 1. I guess I didn't hit enter. There we go. And now I want that one to be, I don't know, let's play around with it. 4, 6, until I get to, and then we can also, maybe 7. There we go. And right now, it's got a value that is changing. So I can kind of go like so. Now, this last one is kind of going down inside of the board, but that's okay. In fact, I'm going to make it go down inside a bit. So you just kind of have to play around with it until you get what you want. And then there's a little check mark somewhere, or I should be able to hit enter. So in your mouse, it says, hey, to end this and to make this the pattern you want, left click, and it places all of those. Now, I'm going to go ahead and turn my section view off. And we're going to extrude that sketch, and we're going to choose to go up to a face. We're going to choose the opposite face. I don't know what happened. What I wanted to extrude was sketch 2. We're going to choose up to face, that face. I'm not sure what's happening. I'm going to exit out of that. Let's see if I can make this happen the way I want it to happen. I'm going to extrude. Extrude sketch 2. Okay, good. Looks good so far. Instead of bind, I'm going to go, you could choose up to next. That would work, but I'm wondering why this isn't working. There we go. And choose that other face, and we're going to go up to that face. And it looks good. And there's our Louvre vent. It turned out pretty cool. I like the way that looks. All right. So we've got our windows. I want to see what I made that frame color. So I can do that. Yeah, that middle silver one. That's going to be what I'm going to do for my attic vent also. Right click, edit appearance, make it that same color. And I am going to rename that part as attic. Technically, it's not an attic vent. It's a gable end vent because it's not on the roof. It is on the gable end. And that's looking pretty good. Now, we'll worry about mounting some of the windows and other things. Let's just put these vents on there for now. And we'll call it a day. So back at our house, let's insert. And it should have the last thing we made, the attic vent. I want 1, 2, 3. Now you might have to kind of zoom in and out to see where they showed up. Okay, good. Whoops, restore. I always hit X instead of check mark. All right, pull them apart a little bit and zoom around. Now you're going to want to pick way in here to this corner right there. So I'm going to do my fastened mate. Zoom way into this, but I want to make sure it's facing, there we go. Don't put it on this part, put it on this face. There we go. And zoom out. And I'm going to make sure that I know which one I'm putting it on and which way it's going to go to that one. And it's going the wrong way, so I need to flip the direction. No, I need to flip which way it goes and flip the direction. There we go. Is that the way it's supposed to be? Now, I know it's got that board going right through the middle of it. That's the way it's going to be. All right, very nice. Next one. Fasten that right there. I'm going to go all the way to the other end. Try and remember which one I did. There we go. Cool. And finally, the one for the garage. Let's go way into that. And way out. I don't remember if I chose this side now or that side. Oh no, we're in the middle of this. Okay, so I'm going to have to redo that. I'm going to exit out of that because the garage vent doesn't have a flat surface at the top, but it does at the bottom. So let's try that again. I'm going to choose the bottom this time. There we go. Bottom left corner is what I'm looking at. And zoom into there. Boom. There we go. All right. So let's get your house to where you can see the siding and see those two vents. Get an image of that. If you want, again, you can turn off your shaded without edges so it looks a little bit cooler, and we'll worry about installing the windows next time. All right, folks, have a good day. See you in the next one.